So why should we be talking about ISO 20022? It is basically the biggest change in the plumbing of the banking system in the last 30 years. And it's going to fundamentally change the way that payments are made and the data requirements around those payments. So it's a huge fundamental change. So what impact is ISO 20022 having on the data requirements for payments and statements? It's really interesting. So there's a whole set of new data that's required, but then on top of that, existing data, so things like addresses, as a prime example, now have to be structured as opposed to unstructured. So in other words, rather than free form, they have to be added in a particular format. The reason behind all of this is that the requirements to make any kind of payment have got more onerous over time due to legislation and sanctions and financial crime, compliance, all this kind of stuff. And so there's just a lot more data that needs to be added to payments. And that is what these changes are all around. So there's a lot of extra data that needs to be added. Some of that data already exists in systems. A lot of it doesn't. So that data needs to be stored somewhere and put in, or taken from a system somewhere. And then when you think about a statement, today you might get only 16 characters of reference on a statement. Imagine a statement where you can get an unlimited amount of reference data, literally to the point of detailing. If you've got a receipt of some money, imagine getting hundreds and hundreds of lines of data explaining what that payment was for. That's how much of a change we're talking about in terms of the volume of data. So why isn't there more noise about this change? I think the issue here is that it's very, very technical. The banks have been emailing customers about this, but the email will have been titled changes around ISO 20022, which to most people is completely meaningless. Had it been entitled the way payments are made is going to fundamentally change in November 24, I'm sure people would have paid much more attention. So I think it's the way we talk about it, and that has to change.